Okay, so in this video we're going to go through a simple explanation of atoms, elements, compounds and mixtures, and we're going to do that using Lego. Now let's start with the atom. Now the definition of an atom is that it is the smallest unit of a substance. So in this video we're going to imagine that one Lego brick is one atom. Now atoms are important because all matter is made of atoms. You and I are made of atoms. This chair, this table, this whole building is made from atoms. So if you were to have a substance and you were to chop it up into smaller and smaller and smaller bits, eventually the smallest bit that you could get to is one atom or one Lego brick. If you were to break it down any further, then the chemistry would change, and there's a bit more to learn about that later on. But now let's just stick with one atom, okay? So I've got my one atom here. Now let's move on to elements. Now the definition of an element is that it is a pure substance made from only one type of atom. Now I've got a white Lego brick here, so in this video the colour of the Lego brick is going to represent the different elements. So I could bring in lots of different or other white Lego bricks, okay? Now there's a special list of all of the elements. Now that list is the periodic table, which you can see behind me. But I strongly recommend that you go to ptable.com for a great interactive website on the periodic table. Now the periodic table is a list of all of the elements, but what the elements are is a list of all of the ingredients that absolutely everything is made from. You and I are made from a list or a different combination of those elements. All the stars and planets out there are made from different combinations of those same ingredients. Any alien life out there is most probably made from those same ingredients. Okay, so the elements are a list of all of the ingredients that everything is made from. So here I've got just white Lego bricks. Now we can imagine that white represents hydrogen. Now hydrogen is an element, it's the simplest element in the periodic table. So here I've just got a bunch of hydrogen. So there's only one type of atom here that is the element hydrogen. And the definition of an element, again, is a pure substance that's made of only one type of atom. Now let's move on to compounds. Now the definition of a compound is when two or more types of atom are chemically joined, or two or more different elements are chemically joined. Now let's say, for example, I've got my hydrogen here, represented by these white Lego bricks. Now let's bring in a different colour Lego brick, so I've got a different element now. Now let's say, for example, that blue Lego bricks represent oxygen. Now oxygen is an element and it can be found in the periodic table. Now what happens in nature when two hydrogen atoms come across one oxygen atom is that they chemically join and they chemically combine, and we can clip these Lego bricks together, okay? Now these are now chemically joined. If I drop them, they stay together, okay? So a compound is when two or more types of element chemically join together, okay? Now we can have another example of a compound. Let's say, for example, we've got some more oxygen here, okay? But we bring in another colour Lego brick. Let's say we've got this red one here that represents carbon. Now carbon is also an element that can be found in the periodic table. If it's not in the periodic table, it's not an element, okay? So we've got our carbon here, and we can combine our carbon with these two oxygens. So we've got one carbon, C, and two oxygens, or O2. If we combine these together, then we've got CO2, okay? Which you may know is carbon dioxide, okay? So we've got two examples of compounds. We've got H2O, we've got water, and we've got some CO2, which is carbon dioxide. Now our final definition that we're dealing with is mixtures. Now a definition of a mixture is a substance that is made of two or more substances that are not chemically joined together. So we could have our carbon dioxide and our water together mixing around, which you can get in your sparkling water, okay? But they can be separated and they're not chemically joined together. So the definition of a mixture is two or more substances that are not chemically joined together. And that is a simple explanation of atoms, elements, compounds and mixtures using Lego.